Take us with you everywhere.
If your New Year's resolution was to use technology less, put down that phone and get back to living your life, first of all, what a fantastic New Year's resolution. Secondly, Emily Collier is here this morning with the MCR Foundation because she says come on down to UTC at the end of this month and kind of have a pep rally almost with one of the world's experts in this conversation. So good to see you.
Nice to see you.
So her name is Catherine Price.
Yes.
Who you're bringing to town.
Yes, she is Catherine Price. She is a New York Times bestselling author. Her first two books were The Power of Fun and How to Break Up with Your Phone. And she has teamed up recently with Jonathan Haidt, who wrote The Anxious Generation. If any of you all have read that or are familiar with that, they have teamed up together to write The Amazing Generation, which was just released in December. And that is geared towards kids kind of 8 to 12, that middle school age, to really get kids on board with what technology is doing to their brains in terms of, just changing brain development and kind of the addictive nature of cell phones and social media and things like that. And so they have teamed up together to write this book to help kids get on board with, hey, we got a whole world in front of us. We don't need to be here.
I want to walk myself back a little bit as I drop my pen because I know I used the phrase pep rally, and I did that kind of intentionally because you think back to your high school days and the pep rally was when everybody got together to say, yes, we can do this.
Yes.
Well, a lot of people out there are wanting to individually do this, but you need that collective support. So I think when you come out to hear Catherine, it's a free event. You're going to have this energized charge to understand why you have this inner compulsion to do it. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to be able to look around and be like, okay, we're not alone in this. Like, I'm not fighting this battle by myself as a parent. There's a room full of parents and educators, coaches. It's available to anyone to come and listen to. And like, if we can collectively, do this together, we can start a movement. And it's just like anything else. If you're the one parent whose kid doesn't have a cell phone, that's hard. But if you're in a group with parents and 5 kids that don't have those phones, like that's a lot easier. That's less of a battle.
So you and I were on the phone the other day, and we would each kind of say things back and forth to say, oh yeah, then there's that. Oh yeah, then there's that. One of the things that we kept coming back to, though, is that once upon a time, this was parents telling the kids, you can't have this.
Right.
It's almost reversed now, and it's these younger kids who are feeding the parents to say, we don't want this burden.
Yeah, it's like anything else. Kids want and need boundaries and structure. And so a lot of times, like, you think, oh, as the parent, I'm going to be the bad guy, but the child will respond differently. Or you may have like an extinction burst where you do remove something and they throw a fit, but 2 weeks later, they're in a much happier space.
Right.
But I do think kids are looking around, they're able to see what we can see from a different perspective. A lot of schools in our area have gone phone free, and it's been phenomenal. And when kids can look around and be like, oh, we're talking to each other as opposed to this one person over here that's just looking at their phone. Kids crave connection, real connection, not screen connection, real connection.
You hear these stories in the media, and to me they seem far-fetched. Again, to this conversation we had, it was not far-fetched to you that young kids really are developing relationships with AI.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
It's a real thing. That a lot of we speak about in schools is just, I know what's coming up on my feed, but this is the profession that I'm in. It's not necessarily what's coming up on your feed or this parent's feed. So there's a lot of stuff out there, I think, that's sliding in that parents and teachers are unaware of. And AI is one of those things, AI companions for kids. And it's creating these false relationships with bots. But if you're 8, 9, 10 and you're getting a hold of that might seem really fun, and then it can go down a really dark path. And so our responsibility as parents and teachers and raising these kids is to give them real connection, real relationship opportunities that they're not getting as much of.
There's no way that we can address all of this in our conversation this morning. The evening on January 29th, I think I mentioned, will be at UTC.
Yes.
It'll stretch more than an hour or so.
Yeah, so it'll be at the UTC Fine Arts Center. Again, free event. Doors will open at 6:30. The event is technically from 7 to 8. She will do a presentation and have some conversation, and then we'll probably do some Q&A with your help that evening.
I'll be there.
So yeah, I think it's going to be really great. I'm really excited for Chattanooga to be able to host her. I think it's a great, really neat opportunity. So I would love for anybody and everybody to come.
So it's obvious, Emily, that the people who will want to come on the 29th will be parents. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I would think young professionals even today might benefit from this, and certainly educators.
Absolutely. Coaches, anybody, teachers, parents, grandparents, parents, guardians, even young adults. Like you said, I know some college kids that are excited to come to hear about the How to Break Up with Your Phone. I think she's going to talk about a February phone-free challenge possibly, so you can look around the room, and that'll be something for all of us to take part in. So it's going to be great. I think.
And the reason y'all are bringing this with MCR is because you work so closely in the mental health world.
Yes.
Mental health can take on lots of different symptoms, if you will.
Yeah.
But that's what this leads to. That's kind of what the studies are finding. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's such a huge increase in anxiety, depression, eating disorders, drugs and alcohol, like you name it. Every mental health issue has kind of escalated after putting phones in our hands. And if we don't do something collectively to try to push back and kind of take back some of that, it's going to just kind of continue.
We're old enough, we can remember when, seatbelts became required. Once upon a time they weren't, but for the collective good, it became that way.
Right.
Feels like that's kind of where this conversation's going, that we have to pay attention to this now.
Yeah, I think there's too much research and too much data now coming out about the long-term effects not being great. So, holding out as long as you can before you start introducing that for your brain health is great.
Okay, so you can research her yourself. Get on your phone and research her, Catherine Price. But come to the UTC Fine Arts Center January 29th, 7 to 8. She'll speak, she'll take your questions, you'll learn a lot, bring your friend, your PTA representatives, all of it.
Yep.
Thank you, Emily, for doing it.
Thank you.
Ascension Living provides services and amenities to our residents.
It's such a close-knit group. It's so much like family.
Why wouldn't you want to live here?